Good morning, y'all. Hope everybody's having a good day. I'm currently working on a Christmas present, and I thought I'd come on live today with some Christmas updates about decor and the things that I'm working on and things like that, and also just ask what you guys are working on as well. I also currently have a poll going on stream. If you haven't voted, make sure you vote on the poll, and that just is going to determine whether or not we try to do some Jackbox games today. And if you don't know what Jackbox games are, it's basically it's similar to Kahoot or something like that. If you've ever done anything like that, you use your phone or you can do it on your computer, whatever is easiest for you, and you type in a URL that I would share, and then we would be able to play games together remotely. I would share my screen and stream the game for you guys, and we can all play together. So, if that is something of interest to you this morning, definitely vote in the poll so I know what you guys want to do this morning. But I figured that would be a way that we could interact a little today. Everybody could like hang out and have fun together while we're working on stuff. Um, I I'll quickly share with you guys what I'm working on. I have this little panel of just half double crochets right now, and I'm going to put it inside of this frame, and it's like a jewelry display. So I'm going to try to get this done today. It's a pretty quick project. I've already made some things to hang on it to go along with the gift. Um, and I have to make a few of these. I think I have like 4 frames total so that I could gift it to a few different people, but I'm really excited about that. I also have behind me, you'll see all these granny squares I have blocked behind me on my blocking board. I also need to put those together at some point. I can share with you guys like the lining that I picked out and things like that, if you guys are interested in learning about that. I'm probably not going to do that on stream today because it'll be kind of hard for me to pay attention to what I'm doing and also pay attention to stream at the same time. But I'm excited about that project too. So, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and transition to this little message I have on screen. So if you're tuning in and you haven't said anything in the chat, let me know what you're up to today. It's always really awesome to hear where you guys are from, what you're doing today, all that. It's really interesting to me. It helps the stream stay very interactive, and everybody can just chat and hang out. It's always very relaxing for me. And this time always really flies by for me as well. So, especially when you guys are chatting a bunch. So, definitely feel free to send messages in the chat. Um, I also have, when I finish this, there's a few other things that I possibly will work on today. I have these little ornaments that I need to make little frames for. I shared on last week, not last week, but the last stream that I did, which was 2 weeks ago now, that I like wrote a little pattern for these to make like a little holder to hold these little images in so that they can hang on my Christmas tree, and it's really, really pretty. But I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more of these little ornaments that I have to make frames for so that I can hang them on my Christmas tree. And if you didn't tune into that last live stream where I kind of explained what these are, my husband and I are doing a Christmas Advent devotional, and each devotional each day has an ornament to help you remember the story that goes along with that devotional. Um, and of course, the very last ornament is the manger and the star that led the shepherds to Jesus when he was born. So that's really cool. But all of them have like their own little Bible story that's really cool. Yeah, so that's all very, very exciting. It's been nice to populate my Christmas tree with like a whole bunch of really unique ornaments that are handmade. Amber is in the chat. Good morning or afternoon for you. Well, where are you from, Amber, that it's afternoon already? Are you over in the UK or Europe, somewhere around there? Or are you, I don't know what that time zone could be. I'm kind of not as versed in time zones as I should be. Um, I also have a few things in my background. I have these little snowmen back here. Those are, if you guys are interested in linking that pattern, I can link it for you. But it's a the hat is the only thing that you sew onto the snowman so that it doesn't fall off. But it's completely no sew apart from that. And I made some of those so that my local bookstore could stock some because she was requesting snowmen specifically, and I need to pick out some other plushies that will go to the bookstore for restock tomorrow as well. Oh, Ohio? Okay, yeah, I guess that makes more sense since it's like technically afternoon, but it's early afternoon. Okay. All right, we have update on the poll. We're at 67% yes, 33% no with 3 votes. Gonna leave that up for a little while people continue to tune in. And I know we have 7 people watching right now, so not everybody has voted. But I definitely don't want to lose y'all if there's some of you that don't want to do that. So definitely vote on the poll if you haven't already. Um, I also have in the background my new safety eyes that I've been experimenting with. I painted like a whole bunch of them and this is like half of the ones that I ordered. So I haven't painted half of them, but I like was experimenting with different styles and colors and things like that. So this isn't even all of them, but there's a whole lot of them. And I was trying to figure out which ones I like the most so that I can like plan for my next safety eyes release. And a lot of these are really cool. I have like some little decals in there. But yeah, I thought I'd share that with you guys. I can show you guys closer if you guys are interested, but you have to let me know in the chat. I definitely don't want to do things that you don't seem interested in. So just let me know what you guys want to do. Display name says, good morning, Defs. Want to say I've been watching your vids for a bit, but I really like that you include acrylic makes in your FPR vids. Well, good. I'm glad that there is somebody out there that appreciates the acrylic. I think it's like a little bit out of my comfort zone because typically when I do amigurumi, I don't use like worsted weight or acrylic or anything like that. But I've been enjoying it recently because I'm always like really pleasantly surprised on how cute and tiny like I have a heart for tiny things too. That's probably part of it, but I'm always like really surprised. Unfortunately, a lot of those makes go into my like giveaway box for things that I gift to people or things that I put into mystery boxes because it's hard to price some of those things with them being so small. So, for example, I had like the fishing otters. I think that might have been the first video that I started doing it. I definitely didn't do it for all the plushies in that video, but I had these little fishing otters, which is a really cool free pattern on Instagram. Um, and I made 3 of them, and one of them was in acrylic, and it was so tiny. It was like this big, but it took probably an hour and a half to 2 hours, and I was like, I can't price a little thing this big at like $30. That wouldn't make sense, and I don't think anybody would buy it. So I put that in a mystery box, and it actually got purchased the other day, and I was really surprised about it because my husband, he has a friend named Lee, and Lee might be watching this, so hi Lee if you're watching. But he has a friend named Lee, and he likes to fish, and my husband wanted to gift him like some sort of fishing plushie, and he thought that I had I did a AI writes my pattern type video. I haven't done one of those in a very long time, but the first episode of that, the AI wrote a pattern for a bear that went out and went fishing, and so he was supposed to have like a fishing pole and a fish, and he came out looking really derpy. Um, Let me know in the chat if you guys have watched that video, but he came out looking really goofy and my husband was like, "We need to give him that because he would think it's so funny." And then he also was like, "We have that fishing otter, don't we?" And I was like, "No, I sold both of them." And I forgot that there was an acrylic version that was in a mystery box and he ended up buying that mystery box. So it all worked out. It was just pretty funny. Um yeah. So here is my little panel so far. I got, I'm like a little bit more than 2/3 of the way done. But anyway, after I'm done making this panel, I'm basically supposed to glue it into the frame and then you leave the glass part of the frame out because um, you wouldn't be able to hang jewelry on it if you had that little glass panel. And then you keep the little backing of the frame as well so that it can still hang or sit up on a table, things like that. I've got 6 people watching this morning. Amber watched my AI video at least twice. Which one was it? I think I have 3 or 4 out. I think it's been 3 total that I've made, but they're all always hilarious how those plushies end up turning out at the end. Um, so it's always a little bit of a pain to film those videos because just you know what? Now that I think about it, there's 4 videos because I have at the very top of this bookcase, I have some brontosaurs, blueberry brontosaurs from the last video. I think that was number 4. Oh, you've watched all of them twice? Dang, Amber. That's awesome. Well, thank you for watching them. Do you like them because they're funny or do you just like enjoy watching that sort of content of like watching time lapses of crocheting and stuff? Um, when I finish this row, I'm going to show you guys some pictures because I've been my little Christmas update for you guys since my last live stream is that I've been doing some decorating. This first thing isn't a thing that I made. Well, one of them is, but it's not Christmas decor. So I have these cute little woodblock hand painted little guys on top of my second yarn shelf, which is over there. Um, and they're so cute. My friend Danielle made them, and I won them at a White Elephant Christmas party exchange. And the the thing about this white elephant was that everybody who came had to bring a handmade or homemade item. So Danielle painted these gorgeous little Christmas blocks and they're so cute. And of course, we've got my extra large anchor in the background too. But I think they look so cute up there. I didn't have any Christmas decor in this room, so I was like, I need to put something up there, and that works perfect. Bonnie says, I like when you show a pattern review in different yarns. All I use is acrylic and not all patterns work up as nice in my opinion. Yeah, I've noticed that too. So I'm glad that's been helpful for multiple people in the chat now. Amber says, I really like watching crochet challenge videos. It's what drew me to you in the first place. Oh, well, I'm glad you like the challenge videos. I've gotten like mixed feedback on them. I was doing like the dollar, like the store challenges a lot over the summer. And by a lot, I mean like I did maybe 1 or 2 a month. And I got like a lot of people commenting saying that they didn't want to see them that often. And I was like, but they're like my most viewed video. So, um, during that time frame. So it was just kind of surprising. Very mixed reviews. Uh, Display name says one of your AI vids there were facts in the middle of the pattern. I thought that was so funny, and you fact checked them, which made it better. Okay, yeah, I had a lot of fun editing that video. Um, it's hilarious what the AI came up with for fun facts. And my husband's really creative when he does generate those patterns for me. He likes to include like little silly things. Like in the first video, he like had the pattern write jokes, and one of them was in Pig Latin, and then I can't remember what the third pattern's weird shtick was. I think maybe it was, I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember, but he likes to throw little things in there. That makes it really interesting. Anyway, moving on from the yarn shelf, in my guest room, I have this tiny little Christmas tree, and if you tuned into last live stream, I was working on my Christmas tree skirt because this is my old skirt, and of course, this is only a fourth of it, but it's not big enough for my Christmas tree, and I'll show you guys my tree in a little bit. But it was not nearly big enough. Like, you couldn't see the skirt at all, especially when there was presents, and of course, presents are going to obscure the skirt at a lot, but it really only covered the little metal thing that holds my Christmas tree up, and that was it. Like, it just got to the circumference of that thing, and then you could hardly see it at all. So I finally finished that Christmas tree skirt in the last video, and it was really good. I've been wanting to do that for years and years, but never had time to. Um, and then on the little Christmas tree on screen here, we have like some different ornaments. I've got some Precious Moments ornaments that my mom collected. Um, and there's also some like little ballerinas. And then in addition to all of that, we have some little cross stitch. I don't know if they're considered cross stitch, but it's like this mesh that my great grandma or no, not my great grandma, but my grandma or my mom made. And there's like gingerbread men and candy canes and little ice skates and stuff, and they're so cute. But in addition to that, I also have my wreath hung, and this is the first year that I've had a Christmas tree, Christmas wreath, um, for Christmas. And this one is another thing that I got from that white elephant gift exchange. My friend Jenny made this ornament, and it's gorgeous, and it looks so good on my front door because, of course, it matches my front door. But it's so pretty. Um, Pause E Whiskers says, "Yay, I managed to join the live this time." Well, hi, welcome. And then finally, I wanted to show you guys under my Christmas tree. I have my gifts all wrapped, and I'm still waiting on like one or two or three gifts. I can't remember how many, but I've been wrapping the gifts in just plain brown paper this year and making little crocheted bows. Um, in like little crocheted ribbons, so that way I can use up some of my acrylic yarn that I don't really use. There's a lot of it that's like really scratchy, or it has like a ton of dog hair like mixed in it. So this is a good way of like using it for a purpose that isn't making something that's going to be given to somebody or sold to somebody. Like, all of the people receiving these gifts have dogs and don't really care about the dog hairs, so and of course, they're not going to be wearables either, so being a little scratchy isn't really an issue. But yeah, I think they look so good. It's a like really simple way of wrapping gifts, and it's been really fun, kind of making all the little ribbons. And I also think it's nicer because I don't have to search frantically for who the gift is for when we hand them out on Christmas. Um, our Christmas at our house, we always do uh, we collect all the presents and hand them out to everybody, so everybody has a big pile of presents, and then we go around, youngest to oldest, taking turns unwrapping presents, one at a time. So it makes it a little bit easier to have the names like much bigger on there. Yeah, but anyway, I wanted to show you guys that, just to give you guys a little update about my kind of Christmas preparations in terms of like decor and stuff. I usually only go out and decorate my living room fully, but I was like, every room has to have a little bit of Christmas in it this year, and I put up the Christmas lights. I didn't take a picture of that, but they look really good, and I unfortunately did kill one of my strings of Christmas lights because I didn't realize you can't plug all eight of them in together. I've never done Christmas lights before. And I was trying to surprise my husband from when he got back from like a work trip to have them like all done. So yeah. But yeah, let me know what you guys are working on today. I haven't heard anybody talking about projects or if you guys are just hanging out and just tuning in to listen to me go on and on and on about random stuff. um, yeah, display name says I love Christmas and the decorations. It makes it seem more magical. Yeah, it. Yeah, I feel like it feels so much cozier, and it allows me to really think about the fact that it's like Christmas time and not just the fact that I'll be getting presents soon, but what that means and just like remembering Jesus and um, just thinking about how thankful I am for my family and stuff. So it's nice. It's a great reminder, and it really helps me appreciate and just like uh, sit, in my living room and hang out because it's like it's different. It feels like I'm in a different atmosphere, and I get to enjoy it, enjoy the decorations, and even if I'm just like sitting on the couch with a book or things like that, it's nice to have things decorated. And then Laura says, "Hi Cassie." Hello, Laura. Thank you for tuning in today. For those of you who are joining us and we're not here at the beginning of the stream, I don't know if you're watching live or if you're watching from the beginning, but I was trying to figure out if we want to do a game of Jackbox. And it looks like most of us are saying no, but now we're 50-50 again. we're we're going back and forth now. But I have several different Jackbox games. I think I have like 3 different Jackbox party packs. And we could play games together if you guys want to, but we definitely don't have to if you guys are not interested in that. And then Laura says, "Love your videos." Well, thank you so much. I'm glad you guys like the videos. I'm a little bummed out that I haven't been able to put out like more videos that I've been trying to like make episodes of, like the AI videos we were talking about earlier. I feel like I haven't made one of those in a really long time. So I'm going to try to make one of those in January. And then I really want to work back up to eventually getting to every week we're doing a video on YouTube and maybe making them shorter because right now they're a little long and I think it's been kind of difficult for people to sit down and watch like the whole video in one sitting. But I really want to get back to eventually getting back to every week. But I really need to like kind of plan for that and stockpile some videos. I think that would help too. Hendrian Andervalt. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. She says, "Hi, love your videos so much." Well, thank you. Thanks for tuning in. It's nice to see some new faces in here. I think I've seen Amber in here before and maybe Bonnie. But most of these other people who are chatting, I don't think I've seen you guys in the live stream before, so welcome. Laura's asking what I'm working on. I'm working on a Christmas present, so it's going to go in this little frame. And it's actually just about done. I'll have to double check. I didn't make too many rows, but it's like a little jewelry display, so you can like hook like earrings or like a necklace or anything into this. You glue it to the inside of the frame so that it can't fall out, and then you leave the little backing on behind it so that it can hang or it can sit on like a dresser or shelf, whatever you want to put it on. But this is one of the Christmas presents that I'm working on, and I just about hurt myself there. But you basically, yeah, it's pretty simple, and I wanted to do it. I saw it on Pinterest, and I was like, that is such a good idea, and that's so simple. Yeah, it looks like the row that I'm starting on is actually gonna have to be frogged because it's like the perfect size right now. But I have to glue this in there. But I'm not gonna do that on stream today because I don't have the glue handy, and I think I need to get hot glue out. But this is done, so I'm gonna go ahead and fasten off and weave in my end. That's exciting. Display name says, "I love the long videos, it helps me when I'm working on my crochet, currently working on last minute Christmas gifts. Yeah. I have like all the Christmas gifts that we bought already done and wrapped, but I have like all the crochet presents I'm still trying to finish up because I had a market last week and I had started the Christmas presents like over the weekend and I was dedicating my weekend time to working on Christmas presents, but then last weekend I had a market, so I didn't really have time. But now that market's done, I'm just working on Christmas stuff all week. And um, our first guests for Christmas are actually getting in this Sunday, so that means I need to get their crochet Christmas gifts done before they get here. And probably the rest of them too, because then, so my husband's parents are coming and his grandparents are coming. And none of my family is able to make it this year, unfortunately. I'm a little bummed out about that, but we'll see them soon, I hope. And I have to ship their Christmas gifts. So I just got to make sure everything gets done on time. Where did I leave off in chat? Sherig says, spending the day working on Christmas gifts, just finished a Lego man, never again. Like a crocheted Lego man? Made some eyes for the 3 Pokemon that are in the works. Okay, cool. Which Pokemon are they? Laura says, what a cute idea. Love that. Yeah, it's like such a simple thing. And I also crocheted some earrings for each of these gifts. I'm making, I think I have 4 frames. Yeah, I made 4 frames. And each of the frames has their very own little earrings that'll hang on it so that when they open the gift, they're not like, what is this? That way they understand, oh, it's for like jewelry and it's like a bonus gift too. So it's pretty exciting. Um, and then pause and E Whiskers says, uh, I can't quite understand what you said there, but I think it said I am exactly the same is what she probably meant to say. I love longer videos while crocheting. Then I don't need to search on what to. Yeah, I hate that too. When I finish a video and I'm like, great, now I got to figure out what I need to watch next. So recently I've just been like watching series on Hulu or Netflix that I haven't seen before because then I don't have to worry about figuring out what I'm going to watch on YouTube next. Since I am so busy with all the things I'm making. And Kathleen Berry says, hi, so happy sorry, I'm stumbling on my words. So happy to make it to a live. You're my favorite YouTube crochet channel. Always appreciate how much effort you put into your videos. Oh, well, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and end the poll now because it looks like most people don't want to play Jackbox and we only got like half an hour left in the stream today, so I don't think we have time anymore. But thank you guys for voting if you did vote. Maybe in the future, if there's like enough people, we can try to do that in the future. But anyway, here's what that is going to look like once I glue it in and put the back on. It'll look really cute. I'm excited. I'm excited that turned out well. So yeah, I'm going to start working on another one of these, I think. I got to figure out what color I'm going to do though. You guys want to help me pick? I'll show you the colors that I have. Just gotta get some stuff out of the way real quick. Okay. So we have this dark blue, and it's like a little bit thicker than that one, so it'll probably take a lot less rows than that last one. And then I have like this cotton beige that has like little flecks of purple and blue and pink in it. I also have like this green that is variated as well. What else do we have? What else do we got? We've got lots of different cotton yarns in here, but I'm trying to figure out what colors would be best for this. Maybe like this pink. What do you guys think? Which one? Which one should I pick out of these 4? I'll put a poll in, so make sure you vote. I need to figure out which color this one's gonna be. So let me create a poll. Paws and Whiskers says, I hope your market was great. My market wasn't too bad. That'll be my next video that comes out this next Tuesday, so you'll have to tune in to figure out how that went. It was a market that I hadn't done before. Okay, one more option. Okay. The poll is out, so make sure you vote on it so that I can figure out what color I should do next for the next frame. I'll hold them up again in case you guys missed it. This dark blue is like almost the same dark blue as my sweater here. Lots of votes for the cream variated. What else? Laura says, love a bonus gift. Yeah. Sherrick says, yes, a crocheted Lego man, 23 pieces. It took 2 days just to make the parts and a full day to assemble. Oh my gosh. That is so long. It's okay, Paws and Whiskers. I get it. I have a feeling that YouTube's chat doesn't like allow autocorrect because I get a lot of typos and in the chat, and it's always just, I think it's just they don't have autocorrect in the chat for some reason. Okay, looks like we're gonna do cream. Cream it is. That's a nice one. I made a Christmas present out of that same color last year for my father-in-law. Okay. I'm gonna use the same frame for reference. But I think I'm gonna use, gotta figure out what hook size I should use. I was using a 3.5 millimeter for the last yarn, but that yarn is much thinner. I might do like this 4.5. Okay, let's see. Laura says 23 pieces. Holy cow, Sherry. Yeah, that's so many pieces. I don't remember the last time I had a project that had that many pieces. Sherry says Pokemon are Umbreon, Espeon, and Eevee. Cool. Are you doing the Beck Made Studio patterns, or are you using different patterns? I recently, at my last market, I was prepping all last week for the market, and I made so many mini Pokemon from Beck Made Studio. I had like this goal in mind that I was going to make 2 of every single pattern she has, and I guess I didn't really count how many patterns or Pokemon that would be. And when I counted them to make tags for my inventory, it turned out to be 49 Pokemon that I had made over the week. That was crazy. I had to recount because I was like, that can't possibly be right. 49? Crazy. Laura says, I need a group of people to vote for me when choosing colors. Would make it so much easier to decide. Yeah, it's been, I did that, I've been doing that when I've working on stuff, and it's been very helpful. You guys, last time I had people choose colors, they chose all the colors for this little corn emotional support veggie I was making with my own pattern, and you guys chose some really really good colors in that chat, and I've been selling those little corn guys like way more than the colors of the other veggies that I made when picking the colors on my own. So you guys are very good at choosing colors. Laura says, wow, that is so many. Yeah, I cannot believe how many Pokemon I ended up making for that market. And it still ended up being my best seller at that market. Spoiler alert. Which has been really awesome because that's been the best seller for the past 3 markets now, is the mini Pokemon. Pause says, I am terrible at choosing colors. I use my fiance to choose my colors. That's a good way of doing it too, I suppose. Yeah, I feel like I usually go for like more pastel muted colors when I'm choosing colors on my own, and a lot of people don't like it as much as I do. So it's helpful to hear other opinions. Me, I don't know who me says, what patterns do you use for your Pokemon? They are the Beck Made Studio patterns, and I can pull them up on her Etsy for you guys. Hold on. She is one of my followers, and she makes very, very, very cute, awesome little mini Pokemon. Um, and they're all really, really, really adorable. Okay, here is the last pattern pack that she released, which was really cool. It's got like Totodile, Oshawott, Cyndaquil, Rowlet, Piplup, Lapras, Chespin, Meowth. Yeah, that was all of them. And a lot of these Pokemon in here I had never seen before. So they must have been like newer generations, but she does all sorts of really, really awesome Pokemon patterns. I've made all of the Eevee evolutions. I did that last pattern pack that I just showed you. She's got this pattern pack that has like Pikachu, Bellossom, Psyduck, Eevee, Chikorita, Gengar, and I think that might be it in that pattern pack. Yeah. And then this one has like the original starters plus like Togepi, Mew, and Snorlax and Phanpy. And it also has like the Pokeball pattern in it too if you want the Pokeball pattern. But all of the patterns are also sold separately. And then there's also this Sir Pebbles pattern, which I use for my mini Charizards. But these patterns do so well at market. If you haven't tried them, make sure you check them out. She's having a sale right now. Everything's 50% off, it looks like. So go get you some patterns if you haven't already gotten some. Uh, yeah, she does amazing. And she actually lives in San Antonio, which is where I used to live before my husband and I moved to where we are now. So that's really cool. Display name says, yes, I never realized it would take me so long to choose colors, especially never thought I'd have a difficult time choosing browns for a mousse. Okay, yes, because Premier, I don't know if you use Premier Parfait Chunky, but they have released so many new browns. They used to just have like 2, and now they have at least 8, I think. And they're all amazing. I love all of the browns, all of the new browns they have. So I think not my last Premier order, but the order before that I got like a whole bunch of browns, and it's been very hard to choose. There's so many pretty browns now. Um, let's see. Sherry says that's crazy 49. LOL, no thanks. I'm using Snuggle Beans Crochet Fox and Kitty Sploot pattern. That's an interesting one. I haven't heard that one. I got a commission the other day for a soup belly cat, which I guess is a pattern that went like viral on TikTok recently. And I have the yarn for it. I ended up ordering some little bunny to make it because I don't have any. I have faux fur yarn, but the only faux fur yarn I have is like a little smaller in weight than it needs to be for this project, and it's also white. And the person wanted the cat to be black, so I have to work on that this week too. Amber says, does anybody know a good Gardevoir pattern? I have never seen a Gardevoir pattern actually, so I'd be interested in hearing about that as well. Amber, are you looking for like a bigger Gardevoir or like a smaller one? Laura says, I know nothing about Pokemon. Sabrina Shelton says, good afternoon, welcome, welcome. And Laura says, Parfait Chunky is my favorite. Yay! Another Parfait Chunky fan in the chat. It's so polarizing. I feel like you either love it or you hate it. Crochet by Erin says, hello, oh my god, I am so excited to watch you live for once. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad you were able to tune in today. Display name says, I loved the kitty sploot pattern. I made one so far for and my daughter snatched it up. Cool. Very cool. I hadn't heard of that pattern until today. You guys I might need to look it up and see what it looks like. Is it on Etsy? I'll have to look at it after I weave in this tiny little end in the corner here. This is taking so much of my brain power right now. I'm so sorry. I got so quiet. Okay, I'm gonna look up this Snuggle Beans Crochet and hope that she's on Etsy. Looks like she is. Okay, I see the Cookie the Cat pattern. These are so cute! And they're like 25% off right now, guys. I might have to get this pattern. My husband just gave me the thumbs up. He's like, yes, you can. And then we have the fox. That's so cute, and it can be a wolf too. That's adorable. I bet that would do really well at market. It doesn't look like it's no sew. It looks like you might have to sew the arms and legs on. Is that correct? Or actually, it looks like those legs are done like, oop, it looks like they're parallel to the round, so you could probably crochet them in. But those look so good with those big ol' eyes on them. Those look so cute. I'm a sucker for foxes, and foxes have been very popular this year, guys. I might have to get that. Maybe she has a pattern pack that has like both of those in there. And she's got a Night Fury pattern. That's so cute. Okay, hold on. She's got a is this the pattern you were saying you were working on? That seems like a weird coincidence to have Umbreon, Eevee, and Espeon in one pattern pack together in oh, you know what? It's probably what she was talking about. She said Fox and Kitty. Didn't you? Didn't you? I forgot I was sharing my screen. You guys got to see the scary YouTube background. Um, where was your chat at? Oh, it was Sherry that said it. Okay, cool. Well, I'll have to get those. Those look like cool patterns. And then display name says she has a few patterns, but yes, on Etsy they are sewn in. Very cool. Laura says really cute. Pause says I think the arms and legs crochet in. Okay, cool. Mostly head, only head are sewed. Okay, well that's not bad then. That's not bad. That makes me want to get it more because it's less sewing. You guys know how I feel about that. Pause says I bought some of them and still haven't made them. Yeah, I feel that way too. I needed to do another one of those Wheel of Amigurumi videos where I had a random wheel pick my pattern from all the unmade patterns that I have, and then also the colors.io website to pick my color palette for each one. That was so fun. And there's a lot of patterns that I have that I still haven't made that I've just been hoarding. But all of them are so cute. And Amber says a bigger Gardevoir made out of chenille. My sister really wants one, but I can't find a pattern, and I am scared to freehand it. Well, sometimes you just gotta bite the bullet and freehand it, and then you could sell the pattern. Especially if there's not one out there. If there's not a pattern out there, you could probably make it and then people would buy it. Bonnie says I've seen these things and they're so cute. Can you make one in acrylic so I can see how it turns out? Well, maybe. Maybe. We'll have to see. I usually don't make them in like different types of yarn when I'm just making them for fun or making them for market because I typically can't sell the ones that are made in acrylic. I was telling the chat earlier that I have like a box of items that I have to give away because it wouldn't make sense to price them at what I need to price them to sell for like the time and materials that I use. So unfortunately, I only ever do that for free pattern review videos. And that's another series that I haven't made an episode of in a while. I've just been busy with markets, and with only 2 videos a month, it makes it hard to fit one of those in there. Uh, Display name says, I made the cat in acrylic. I think I left a pic in the review on Etsy. It's small. My daughter used it as a backpack clip. That's cool. That's gotta be so small then. How big do these things work up? They look like pretty big in the pictures, especially with the big eyes, but I guess they might be smaller than I'm expecting. Pause says, I bought so many patterns that I have so many patterns that I bought and haven't made yet. I have a problem. Yeah, I feel like that is the case with like every crocheter. It's you hoard your yarn and you hoard the patterns and you are happy. That's how it works. And even if you have enough yarn or enough patterns to choose from, you're always going to want more. 'Cause why not? Why not? Well, I'm making progress on this and it's looking really cute. What do you guys think? I'm just doing half double crochets. Songbird crochet art on Ribbler has a Gardevoir pattern. Okay, cool. You'll have to look that up and see if it'll work for you, Amber. Um, I'm excited to get this and all the other frame Christmas presents that I'm working on done because these are by far the least fun because I'm just doing the same thing over and over again. And I don't get to like switch colors or make progress really. It just feels like the same thing. And then I gotta get out the hot glue later. That's always a big pain, and I'm inevitably gonna burn myself. That is always how it works. I'm glad you guys were able to find a Gardevoir pattern though. That's very helpful. Thank you, Sherry, for finding that. Hopefully that works for you, Amber. You'll have to let us know if that looks like it's gonna work. Okay, what else do I got going on here? I already shared with you guys all the decoration photos. I was just making sure I didn't forget to do anything that I wanted to do. We've got another about 10 minutes left in stream, so maybe if you guys want to do a Q&A, I can start a Q&A. And then you guys can send questions in the chat if you guys want. I've never done a Q&A in here before, so we'll see how this goes. It started like a separate little tab for me to keep track of, so I'm gonna have to remind myself to look in there. Make sure that I'm checking it. I always get asked what my favorite pattern is, and I'd be happy to share that with you guys again if you guys haven't heard me talk about that. But I have like a few favorite patterns. It's always hard to pick though. There's always so many patterns to choose from, and I'm always like, well, I don't know. There's so many good ones. I don't know about you guys though, but I always whenever somebody starts a Q&A session for like literally any purpose, if it's like a corporate event or if it's um like some YouTuber doing a Q&A, I never know what I should ask. I never know. I can never think of something on the spot, so hopefully that's not the case for you guys. No questions so far, unless I just don't know how this works. Well, how many of you guys are hosting Christmas this year? Or are you guys going somewhere for Christmas? I'd be interested to hear about that. If you guys are traveling, or if you have family nearby and you all just gather up for Christmas, or just let me know. We have family that is traveling from Florida and Iowa. And normally we have two parts of the family that are traveling from Iowa, but this year it's just one. My in-laws and then my grandparents-in-law are driving from Florida. So, how are my chickens doing? They're doing good. Um, all of the older chickens, so I don't know if I told you guys this, but we had to put down our rooster because he started attacking the chickens and was killing them. So, we had to put him down, but we got new chickens and they're younger, obviously, because yeah, that was a stupid statement, sorry. But the we have like two cliques. There's the younger chickens, and they all look beautiful right now and they're starting to lay eggs and all the eggs are really silly looking because I don't know how that works, but they always start really silly looking or they have like double yolks. It's always very interesting, but they're very clicky and they stay together, the younger chickens. I think it was just because like integrating new chickens to a flock is always hard and there's like a pecking order and everything. Um, and they got picked on a lot when we first introduced them, so they kind of keep to themselves. But I've noticed that our like head chicken, her name is Dot, she has been hanging around them like all the time now, which is interesting because the rest of them are still kind of like standoffish with the younger chickens and they bully them a little. Maybe that's why she keeps by them. Maybe she thinks she needs to protect them. But what I was beginning to say, but then forgot to finish saying, was that all of our older chickens are molting right now, so we're not getting very many eggs right now, which is completely fine with me, because we do not go through enough eggs to have all 11 chickens laying at the same time every day. That would be crazy. Maybe I don't really understand how this Q&A thing works. Maybe you guys send them just in the chat. I don't know if there's like a thing that you fill out, but I don't know. I'm going to end it just in case that's preventing people from just sending normal messages, but it was an interesting little thing to try. But yeah, the chickens are doing good. We have 11 now. Our flock has changed number a lot in the past year. We had a few casualties and then we were like, well, we need three more. And we got them from Tractor Supply. The Actually, it wasn't three. It was four new ones. And we got three of them knowing that they would be female. And we were hoping that one of them would end up being a rooster, but it's not a rooster. They're all girls. But it's not a big deal. How's your gardening? Are you growing anything? Yes. We have our winter to fall things planted. So we have lettuce outside, and some of it isn't doing very well. So it didn't like end up germinating. I think my husband was telling me earlier because he's kind of the one who like mostly does all the gardening, and I just kind of harvest. But he was saying that we'll have to start it inside next year because it just got too cold, or maybe it got too warm. I can't remember which, but it got one of those things, and then it didn't germinate. But some of it did. We also have carrots that are growing, and onions and garlic. And then I think we also have like spinach, bok choy, and I think that might be it right now. We also have grapes that we planted, muscadine grapes, and they are starting to like go dormant for the season. And we have blueberries outside that are starting to go dormant. But the garden is doing well. We had quite a bit of food this summer that I was not able to keep up with, but I made lots of pickled jalapenos and just regular pickles with cucumbers, and I did, what else did I do? I made salsa. We had like way too many tomatoes. We need to cool it on how many tomatoes we're planting. And we also tried purple whole peas this year, which turns out I don't really like those. So I was like shelling them and freezing them to give them to the chickens for treats when it was really hot. And they seemed to like them, so at least somebody was eating them. Amber said the Q&A showed up for me, but I couldn't think of anything to ask. Okay, well, no big deal. Blair says, hi, welcome in, Blair. We're actually gearing up to end the stream pretty soon, so hopefully you'll be able to just like watch from the start if you're just tuning in now, since I'll have to leave soon. Laura says, I'm so jealous, can't wait to be able to garden in the spring again. It's too cold here. Yeah, it's still pretty cold here. Yesterday overnight it got into the 20s. So we had to like drip our faucet. But there's been like a couple nights where it's gotten pretty cold. I think that was the first night it got like below freezing. But it's still been kind of cold. But you know, that's cold in relativity to the fact that I am used to much warmer weather here, I suppose. Display name says, I tried with the gardening, but weather where I am tends to be everywhere. Yeah. That's too bad. Yeah, there are some things that I wish we could plant, but the weather is not right for it. Like, I wish we could plant broccoli. I eat a lot of broccoli. Or cauliflower, things like that. But it doesn't stay in the right temperature for long enough down here to keep that alive, unfortunately. But we do get lots of peppers, and I love peppers, so I can't complain about that. And I love carrots. Carrots do so well. We had some enormous carrots earlier one of these years that we started gardening. I think it was the second year that we planted them. They were just gigantic carrots. Okay, here's my progress. I need to do like 1 or 2 more rows. My sister loves broccoli, says Blair. Well, cool. I also have, if you guys couldn't tell by the patterns that I've released, I'm a huge fan of vegetables. I have a broccoli pattern, and I have a corn pattern and a root vegetable pattern on my Instagram and on Etsy, if you're ever interested in making some little mini veggies. And I always make like them into emotional support veggies too, and they do pretty well at market. They'd be great for like farmers market, I bet, too. But they all take, they're all no-so, and they take under 45 minutes to make all of them. I think typically it takes me less than 30 minutes, but I'm really familiar with all those patterns, so. Amber says, I love broccoli, but no one else in my family likes it. Okay, I also am like a huge fan of Brussels sprouts, and I know a lot of people don't really like Brussels sprouts too. So I might just be a weirdo. Okay, here we go. I think we're done with this one. So I got 2 frames done on this stream. That's progress. I can hardly get a whole project finished on stream sometimes. So we made good progress today, guys. Good progress. I feel very accomplished. I mean, to be fair, most of the time when I'm working on a project, like, things are different every single row. Whereas this project, I just did the same thing over and over and over and over and over, and that was very mindless. So it's kind of a different wheelhouse there, I suppose. Laura says, awesome progress. Well, thank you so much. I'm so happy. It's such a little thing, but I'm very happy that I was able to finish two pieces of a project today. Obviously behind me you can see that I have like a whole load of more work to do for other Christmas presents. So hopefully I can get some of that done this week too, before people start showing up at my house. because they will need to be wrapped before they get here. Anyway, that is all I have time for on today's stream. So if you enjoyed today's stream, make sure you hit the like button. And next week's video, or this upcoming Tuesday's video, is my market prep and recap, the last one for this year. So make sure you tune into that if you're interested in seeing how that went. And with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream, and I will see you guys next week. Goodbye.